Canadian coin errors encompass a fascinating range of anomalies that arise during the minting process, influenced by factors like coin dies, planchette quality, striking pressure, and also mechanical issues. These errors can come in all shapes and sizes in various forms, altering the appearance of the coins. Now let's briefly go over some of the different errors and how they can affect the value of the coins. First, there are die errors. These errors originate from issues related to the coin dies themselves, and they can include double dies. This happens when the die is engraved with multiple impressions of the design. It can result in doubled or overlapping features on the coin. Strongly double dyed coins, especially if well preserved, are highly sought after by collectors and can command significant premiums. There are also die cracks and clashes. Damage to the dies from overuse or time can lead to distinctive patterns on the coins, such as cracks or clashes. While not generally considered as valuable as double dies, coins with prominent die cracks or clashes can still be desirable to collectors. Planchette errors. These errors stem from imperfections in the coin's blank metal disc or planchette, and these can include off-center strikes, and this happens when the coin is struck off-center where the design is misaligned. This can increase a coin's value depending on the visibility and impact on the design. There are also clipped planchettes. This happens when a portion of the planchette is missing. It results in planchette clips, which can also enhance a coin's value. There are several other planchette flaws like laminations or other flaws in the planchette that can affect the coin's appearance and potentially make it more valuable. Striking errors. These occur during the coin press operation process and can include off-center strikes. These are coins with improper centering due to striking errors, and they can become collectible if the error results in a visually appealing and unique design. Overstrikes. This happens when the coin is struck multiple times with different dies. It can create interesting variations and increase its numismatic value. And then last but not least are mechanical errors. Now, mechanical issues within the coin press can lead to errors like machine doubling, where the design appears flattened or doubled due to die movement during the strike. Machine doubling errors are more common and generally have lower value compared to other rarer error types. And then there are rotated die errors, which are the errors that you are looking for on these Canadian provincial quarters. Now, rotated die errors on Canadian coins are intriguing anomalies that occur when one of the two coin dies is misaligned or becomes loose during the minting process, resulting in a rotation of the design. These errors can be classified into two main categories: stable rotation and dynamic rotation. Stable rotation. In stable rotation errors, one of the dies is misaligned during installation, leading to consistent rotation in multiple coins produced from the same die pair. This type of error is characterized by a fixed degree of rotation and can be exemplified by certain coin examples, such as a piece that is meant to be struck in metal alignment, but when you are looking for the rotated die variety, it always comes in coin alignment or with a fixed degree or axis. And then there is dynamic rotation. Dynamic rotation errors occur when one of the dies becomes loose during the striking process and rotates on its axis. These errors result in varying degrees of rotation and can be found on a wide range of Canadian coins, including those from the pivotal year 1967. Now, how do you calculate the rotation degree of your coin? To determine the rotation degree of a coin, you need to measure the extent to which the one side of the coin has rotated in relation to the other side. Now, the easiest and most tried and true method I can suggest for checking if your coins are off axis or are rotated is to put it in a coin flip, look at the one side, and then flip your coin over, and then if it is off axis, then you have yourself one of these rotated dies. Coins with a rotation degree below 15% are generally not valued much higher than their regular counterparts unless it is in a very high mint state. The coin's year of issue can also influence its desirability among collectors. Coins with more notable dates like the Provincial series that we're discussing today, and also the 1999 and Millennium quarters, can have rotated dies that are notable, and those are known to be very valuable. If you do find a rotated die on, let's say, a 1980s nickel or quarter, it might not be as valuable as if it occurs on one of the coins like the ones we're discussing on this list. Now, what do you say we get into some of the details and specifications and also values for the coins that you guys are here to find out about, and those are the 1992 provincial quarters with rotated die axis. So first of all, we will discuss the 1992 New Brunswick. The specifications for the 1992 New Brunswick standard circulation strike: it is composed of 100% nickel. It has a weight of 5.05 grams, a diameter of 23.88 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.58 millimeters. The coin was designed and engraved by Dora DePadre Hunt and Augo Aran for the obverse, and Ronald Lambert and Sheldon Beveridge for the reverse of the coin. The edge is reeded, it is magnetic. The standard die axis for Canadian coins is usually in metal alignment, but there are actually two different rotated die variations for the 1992 New Brunswick. There is one with a 90-degree shift rotated die, and there is also one in coin alignment. So what I'll do is I'll go through and I'll give you guys the details and the low end values of all of these coins, and then I will tell you guys the values of these pieces if you were to find one and it scores in the MS range. So if you were to find a New Brunswick 1992 Provincial Quarter and it is in coin alignment, which means it is rotated 180 degrees, it can be worth around $50 for an AU50. Now the New Brunswick with a 90-degree rotation is not actually listed for values on the low end, but I would estimate that you can get at least as much as the coin alignment, if not a little bit more, because it is pretty valuable in the MS region. Now next up is the 1992 Northwest Territories. The specifications for the 1992 Provincial Northwest Territories Quarter is composed of 100% nickel. It has a weight of 5.05 grams, a diameter of 23.88 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.58 millimeters. The Northwest Territories Provincial Quarter was designed by Dora DePadre Hunt and Augo Aran for the obverse, and Beth McKeechan, Augo Aran, and C. Safiotti for the reverse of the coin. The edge is reeded, it is magnetic, and the standard die axis should be in metal alignment. Now, the rotation that you are looking for the Northwest Territories is a 90-degree rotation. If you can identify this, on the low end, it can be worth around $120 for an EF40 and all the way up to $122 for an AU50. Now, the last of these 1992 provincial rotated die quarters that you can look for is the Saskatchewan. The specifications for the standard issue Saskatchewan Quarter is composed of 100% nickel, has a weight of 5.05 grams, a diameter of 23.88 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.58 millimeters. It was designed and engraved by Dora DePadre Hunt and Augo Aran for the obverse, and Brian E. Cobb and Terry Smith for the reverse. The reason that I wanted to give you guys the specifications on all of these quarters is because there are actually different artists that featured their designs on the reverses of these coins, and I wanted to give credit where credit is due. Now, the edge of the 1992 Saskatchewan is reeded, it is magnetic, and it has a standard die axis in metal alignment, but the orientation that you are going to be looking for to identify this holy grail piece is in coin alignment. Now, there are only 3 known examples of the Saskatchewan in coin alignment currently, but that doesn't mean that one can't still be discovered. They actually don't even list low-end values for this coin because there isn't one that is in such a low grade that it is actually worth listing on their site. But I would estimate that you could get anywhere from a couple $100 to $1,000 even for a super low grade example at the bottom of the Sheldon scale. Because there are only 3 known examples, this would be considered a holy grail piece and definitely a good one to keep your eyes out for. Now, in terms of the high-end values, the 1992 New Brunswick in coin alignment can be worth around $550 for an MS66 example, which is currently the highest graded known example. Now, the New Brunswick with a 90-degree rotation can be worth up to $228 for an MS65 example. For the Northwest Territories, you are looking for a 90-degree rotation, and it can be worth up to $348 for an MS65 example. If it did score any higher, you can be sure to see a bit of a price jump. You could easily be talking a $500 to $1,000 coin if it scored around an MS67. And last but not least, we have the holy grail of the bunch, the Saskatchewan in coin alignment. Now, there are only 3 known examples, and they only give one price estimate on coins in Canada, and that is currently $5,600 for an MS62 example. So if you were to find one of these and it scored any higher, around an MS65 to MS67, you could easily be talking a $10,000 to $20,000 coin. They put out a lot of these provincial quarters. I've encountered rolls and rolls and rolls of them in my coin roll hunt, so these are definitely some good pieces to keep your eyes out for.